Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Revlo Show. And just want to welcome back Sammy Castillo. He hasn't been here in a while. I know you guys, everyone's been dying to know what you've been doing, Sammy.
Dude, man. Um, Nothing too much of interest. I've just been here. Trying to be as safe as possible from this
Yeah,
whole pandemic that's been
yeah,
going
that's
on.
right. Hey, vaccinations are going out. Things
Yeah,
are looking good. Uh, you know, as of this recording, cases are going down.
yeah,
Um,
it's good.
but that's not the reason why we brought you here, Sammy. We brought you here because he's somewhat of a musical genius, and he wants to just show us. This is a new segment where I was thinking that maybe the Rebel Show needed. We want to release this almost every Friday. You know, whenever our schedules work accordingly. But Sammy wants to introduce an artist, and he wants to start. He wanted to start in the genre of the blues. So take it away, Sammy.
The
Who's our
blues,
artist you want to
man.
talk about?
Robert Johnson, man. To talk about blues and not talk about Robert Johnson, it's almost it's unheard of. So, I mean, not a lot of people that might not be into the blues genre might not have heard of him, but he was really the one that put the blues on the map. So yeah, I thought this
Yeah.
would be a good
Not
starting
only
point.
that, but like he has such like this, like there's like a lot of myth behind the man. You know, we call Robert Johnson the
Yeah.
father of the blues.
hmm
But yeah, you want to tell us like how he kind of started and like how
Yeah, dude.
people.
He got his start in Mississippi. He was born in Mississippi, and he was born into a family of like field workers, I believe. And but early on, Robert realized that the whole field working and backbreaking labor wasn't really for him. He really had a music really caught his eye at an early age,
Yeah,
and
yeah, I feel him, man. That's why I do this podcast. Is you know, I mean, I can't pay for my living yet with it, but we'll
right,
get there. Yeah,
we'll get there, man. But yeah, so that's how he got his start in blues, and he picked up his guitar, and he never looked back, man.
yeah,
Uh, but like you said, there's a lot of mystery surrounding the man. Um,
yeah. Because and a lot, he would play in a lot of small town bars and stuff like that, right? So a lot of these musicians, like especially blues musicians, they kind of knew each other, right? Like if you were a blues player, more than likely you're gonna know another blues player from the same town, and you guys will all
yeah,
play at the same bar. And Robert Johnson, uh, in his early days of playing the guitar at the bars, he was really awful, right?
he wasn't the best guitar player around, but he did go from town to town, playing on street corners mainly, like living this like vagabond lifestyle, drifter.
Yeah, he was busking.
Yeah, man. Shit, did that come up?
Yeah, they probably did. Yeah, it's all right. We're not a high budget, People know this is DIY. Damn it, we do this at home.
Should
Anyway,
I should keep all my notifications on silent. But yeah, anyway.
yeah, don't do that again, Sammy.
But yeah, he
But
he just went from town to town and trying to make a name for himself and trying to make a living out of this. Um, and there was a couple of blues musicians, a little older than he was, that were already established in that music circuit. So he
yeah,
would kind of like follow him around, and they already knew that he had a rep, that he wasn't really that good. So whenever he'd show up to like one of their get-togethers, like whether it be at a local bar and stuff like that, they would kind of be like, "Oh man, here comes little Robert again." And
damn.
so yeah, and then after
Yeah,
that
I heard like he kind of got laughed out of a bar once, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he got kicked out of plenty bars. I mean, that's why he would mostly play on street corners, because nobody would let him into like bars and like play. And so yeah, he
And then so at some point after all this, he disappears, right? Like he just nobody knows where he goes, right? For
yeah
how long?
he vanishes, and he just vanishes. And they say he was gone for a period of a year. And
I mean,
then
back
so
then, yeah. I mean, it sounds crazy, especially now, because it's kind of hard to disappear now unless you like completely take yourself off the grid. Um, so back then it doesn't seem as it seemed like maybe if somebody went missing it was a little easier, but
mhm,
at the same time a lot of people knew each other, especially in that little blues community,
right.
so it was still kind of odd for him to go missing for that long, right?
Right, yeah. And there's so after that year is done, he comes back again, and he all of a sudden he's this great player, you know. And
Like and they say like, so the myth is he sold his soul to the devil, right?
yeah, that's a legend, dude.
Yeah, and they say at the crossroads. Do you know anything about like why they say at a crossroads he met the devil?
The famous Crossroads, man.
He has a song named the
He
Crossroads,
has a
right?
song named Crossroads
Yeah.
that has now become a blues standard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and by blues standard, I mean it's been recorded by a lot of different artists and musicians.
Mm-hmm.
Most notably Cream with Eric Clapton, 1960s.
They did a cover of that.
Yeah, Crossroads.
Oh shit! I
You've
gotta
heard?
listen
I'm
to
pretty
that.
sure you've heard it.
Maybe I don't. Damn. Huh.
Yeah, dude. Um, but yeah, so and I'm guessing that's where the whole myth of no, the whole story of him being at the crossroad comes from.
Yeah.
Who knows?
And, the movie "Oh Brother, with Where Art Thou."
Uh-huh.
You remember that the black kid they pick up, the guitar player?
Oh, that's right. It
That
was
was
a
supposed to be
crossroads.
Robert Johnson, right? Something like that.
I'm not too sure. Well, it was maybe loosely based on him.
Based on, yeah, because they pick him up and he's like, what you doing out here? And the
Yeah,
middle of nowhere in the crossroads.
that's right. He was at a crossroads where he picked them up, huh?
Yeah, and he's like, well, I sold my soul to the devil.
Uh huh. There's
What did he
actually
say? Huh?
there's actually another movie like from the '80s with the Karate Kid, Ralph Macchio. That's called
Oh yeah,
Crossroads.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Huh. So there is like this bit, like there's like this lore behind Crossroads. I think I read something before, like the Crossroads has something to do with like black magic and voodoo and like
Yeah. Apparently, like at the crossroads, that's where one could summon
the
like
devil,
spirits,
right?
or the supernatural. And so the story goes that he ended up making a pact with the devil at the crossroads, that he would sell his soul in return of him having these great music abilities.
Yeah. I mean, whether you believe that happened or not, there's also other rumors that sound more realistic, right?
It
Like,
sounds, yeah. This one's a little bit more believable, because I mean, really, if you put your heart and soul into wanting to learn to play guitar, you could drastically improve your playing like within a year. So I mean, this one makes a little bit more sense.
yeah.
That he met up with this other blues player, and this guy, he ended up showing Robert how to play properly. But the thing is that they would go to the local cemetery at midnight, and they would sit on top of tombstones
Mm.
that were nearby. So I mean, they could
So
play. And
it just adds to another mysterious story. Like, what the hell? Like,
yeah,
I
right.
mean, imagine just walking by, on a stroll at midnight. You know,
Yeah.
back then there wasn't a lot of in the cemetery. I don't even think there's lights at night. So like you just hear this music, blues music, playing from a cemetery where there's supposed to be only dead people at night.
Right.
And so I mean that could be a little eerie. And then now you see all this guy, and then maybe you notice it's Robert Johnson. Like holy shit, he probably was playing with the devil.
Right. Maybe,
But
dude, but yeah. So that's the other story to it. A little bit more believable.
yeah,
But yeah. So I guess the story like got out of Robert playing in cemeteries at midnight,
yeah.
and they kind of merged that story, and
And
it
then
became this whole.
also, and then also, people thinking it was, because they blues used to be dubbed the devil's music, right? By like,
Right.
churchgoers and
By the
stuff.
churchgoers, yeah,
Yeah,
by the by the Baptist preachers and stuff like that. Don't
right.
be playing that devil music.
That devil music now.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, man. So he comes back. He's amazing,
He
right?
comes back. He's amazing, dude.
He introduces a style. What you said? What is the style of his again?
Um, Mississippi Delta blues, or
Mississippi
Mississippi
Delta
blues,
blues.
Delta blues.
Yeah,
But what that really was, it was like a raw version of the blues that we know today.
right.
It was done on an acoustic guitar. There was no electric guitars. We're talking about the 30s.
Yeah,
Um, and then his style was one of self accompaniment, which is kind of you play rhythm, bass, and lead at the same time.
yeah. How
Um,
hard is that? Can you do that?
a little bit, dude. I mean,
Demonstration.
let's see. There we go. Something like that, dude. I mean,
Nice.
it sounds a little easy, but it's really hard to get down
Really?
to perfect it, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. That type of blues music, when we used to work, um, we'd be out in the sun moving stuff.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'd play like that type of blues music, like the Mississippi Delta blues and just like that rawness. I don't know what about it just put me in a like kind of a cool place, but also like it just felt like right for the moon because it was so hot. Like I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's throw some blues on.
It's funny that you mention that because that's where blues stems from. So it grew out of the field workers, and
Yeah,
to pass the time, they would they would make up these chants and stuff like that, and they would go back and forth, kind of like in a they call it call and response kind
yeah.
of thing. And yeah, so they would sing all these things about their hardships.
So back and forth. So like they would sing one verse, and then
They would
somebody
they
else.
would sing one verse, and then some person from across the field will
Yeah,
probably
that's
yell
hey,
back. Yeah,
that's fucking cool.
yeah,
You know, damn. Well, I mean, it definitely worked for whatever. Like like I said, listen to the blues while you're working hard or doing. I mean, it's a music that you can kind of chill to, but it's also music that you can kind of work to kind of get your mind off of the hard work that's going on.
right. And,
Anyway, oh no, go ahead, go ahead.
and a lot of these early chants and stuff like that, they would have like double meanings and stuff like that. Like for example, they would sing about I'm gonna kill this woman and yeah, I'm gonna kill this woman, blah blah blah. And
That's right.
but they were actually referring to the field boss, you know.
Oh, so make it sound like
Story
I'm gonna
goes,
kill.
yeah, Yeah.
this like cheating wife. It's like
Yeah, cheating wife. I'm
it's
gonna
the
kill her
boss.
when I get out. When I get out.
Shit.
Yeah.
Hey, well, you know, they gotta get it out somehow.
Right.
You know,
And
it's
that's
almost
how
like
they
a
did
form of
it.
therapy. Yeah, shit. Well,
And then
that's dope.
so yeah, out of that evolved like blues evolved out of that,
So
and it,
Robert Johnson. So going back to Robert Johnson, um, you know, what became him? And he started. So he came back. He's really good now. You know, did he make any recording? I mean, of course he made recordings. That's why we're talking about him. But
yeah,
like, how many recordings did he make? And then what happened to him?
there's only 29 recordings known of his, and they were made in the San Antonio and the Dallas area, I believe. So he went all the way to Texas to record, and I guess he got some exposure out of it. I mean, not a lot of
Yeah.
people owned record players and stuff like that. But yeah, so he went back to Mississippi, and so story goes he was at a bar one day.
And
He
this
was
was like shortly after his records released
so
too.
his recordings were I believe between 1934 and 36, I believe, and I want to say he died in like 37 or like 38, 1937 or
Damn.
38. So yeah,
Wow. Okay.
that makes a part of the 27 club because he passed away at 27.
Yeah, and not only that, but like he had such a like, I guess you could say horrific ending. It was kind of very sad.
Yeah, very sad, very mysterious. He was at a bar with a fellow musician. I guess he was maybe he was in between. He was taking a break between playing and stuff like that. So he goes up and they offer him a bottle of whiskey. Whiskey was his thing. And how could one turn down a bottle of whiskey? He's like, fuck it, let's do it. But that bottle, it was already open, and the fellow that he was with like slaps it out of his hand. He's like, you know what? Like, don't you ever drink from a bottle that's been tampered with. It's open.
Yeah.
Don't drink from that. And Robert, he's all, you know what? You don't tell me what to do. I'm gonna drink it. So he goes and he picks up the bottle and
So he's like, I'm a
chugs it
fucking man.
and he downs
Don't
it
tell me what to do.
and he downs it, man.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And then
And he
passes
downs it,
away.
and then he starts feeling sick. He starts throwing up. He starts
Did
getting.
he ever get to play, or was it after he played?
I'm not too sure, but
Okay. They may have just been hanging out, maybe.
yeah, they do say that it took him a couple days to
Fuck.
succumb. So yeah, so
So he suffered, man.
yeah, he suffered, bro. So yeah, he ended up dying a couple days later, and there's a lot of speculation about what really happened. Some say that it was a jealous husband,
Yeah.
because Robert, he was a well-known womanizer. So might have been a husband, might have been a jealous girlfriend, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the.
Well, he left us with great music, and did he start the 27? The 27
He was. I think he was like number 3 on the 27 club.
Oh, it even goes further back, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah, dude. And then to add to like this whole like mystery about him. Before there was only 2 confirmed photographs of him, and then but now they recently came out with the third one.
oh,
Believe
shit.
it was his stepsister. Like she was in possession of the third one.
Wow.
And yeah, dude. What a loss, at such a young age. Like a lot of the greats,
Well, rest in peace, the father of blues,
Yeah.
Robert Johnson. Anyway,
Robert
thank you,
Johnson.
Sammy, for coming in, and
sure.
thank you guys for watching. We want to do some more of this, so it'll be like Music Fridays. Just casually talk about some music.
Yeah,
What do you
dude.
say, Sammy?
I'm up for it. I'm up for
All
it.
right. Well, anything you gotta
Okay.
say to the audience? You want to say anything to the audience before we take off?
Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys were able to walk away with a little bit of information about this great blues player.
Yeah. And if you want any more information, there's a great documentary on Netflix or go and take a listen to Rob Johnson if this is the first time you ever heard about him.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sammy,
Spooky,
thank
creepy recordings, but I mean,
Oh yeah, talks about the devil. I mean, he talks about a lot of dark stuff, right?
yeah,
About dying and stuff like that.
about hellhounds
But
chasing him and shit.
yeah, but check it out. You'll love it if you like blues. You'll love it.
Mhm. Or
Anyway,
maybe this could get you into the blues. You never know.
yeah, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Sammy, and take us away. Give us something tasty on that guitar. All right, see you guys. Till next time. Peace.